Okay, so hello again, and welcome to this YouTube channel, Yellow House Wellness. So, this is the most recent breathwork session. This is session 19, and this happened this week, the 10th of June, 2025. So, it's been a long day of recording for me. This is the last one. So I'm excited for this to finish and to be able to get out and get warm and have some dinner. But before I do, um, my last intention was to anchor in this new baseline that life is spacious, peaceful, and easeful. And like I was saying, I am the master creator of life. I can create whatever I want. I have limitless potential. And I'm just such an, an amazing, powerful, empowered human being. And that's not special for me. This is something everyone can have. We can all rewire our nervous systems and we can all live more easeful lives. So, I've written in again. So my week has been good. Things have just fallen perfectly into place. Um, my car went for some more work. We ended up getting uh, slightly cheaper than what was quoted, even if it was only by $100. Still amazing, still a win. And, things just feel so in alignment and ease, full of ease. So I've written here too, I had some physical symptoms. I had this pain, this kind of discomfort in my sternum on the right, that one of my ribs just wasn't quite in the right place. It just didn't feel right, but it has since passed. I was also feeling a bit dry and a bit itchy, um, and my lips were a bit dry and a bit flaky. We went out to attempt some whale watching and we did not see any whales, but the dryness of the lips, I think, is attributed to that. But there was also some dryness beforehand. Um, I have also pointed out here that I started my bleed, and I feel that it's relevant to share because it's part of the process. Um, I was feeling heavy, I was feeling bloated. I've had things pop up about my physical body and how I feel about my physical body. And I was having a shadow work call, had a shadow work call um, a few days ago now, and I wanted that to be part of that call. I've also been, in the back of my mind playing with this idea of pleasure. And I'm not talking about sexual pleasure. I'm just talking about pleasure in general. I'm talking about having pleasure in life, having joy and pleasure in life. And I've mentioned in previous videos here, I'm a sacral generator. And so pleasure is my life. I follow my pleasure. And so it had me really questioning, what do I have in my life? What have I had in my life that was pleasurable? What have I done simply because I felt I should? What have I done because I was good at it and I thought because I was good at it and because it was easy that I enjoyed it? What have I done that's actually been for me and brought me pleasure in life? And so it's, yeah, opened up this opened up this topic for me around pleasure and just, questioning a lifetime worth of experiences. And, my intention for this session was really to explore, to allow myself to explore this and create a new relationship with pleasure and expand my capacity um, to hold pleasure and allow pleasure in my life. And I've written here that I think it's very fitting that um, I had my bleed on this day because it is very much around um, the sacral. The sacral is the womb. And, it's very much fitting that I was bleeding on the same day of this intention because it's about releasing energetically from my womb as well as from my body. Um, and so I've written here, just talking about this intention with the facilitator. And how will I know that I am experiencing pleasure? Well, as a sacral generator, I will feel lit up by life. I will feel expanded. I will feel at home in my body and in life. I will feel aligned and I will feel like my authentic self. So talking through it and sitting, listening to the intentions of others, um, I started feeling tingles and lightness in my feet, feeling heavy in my feet, in my heels, like my heels were pulling me to the ground, but lightness in the tops of my feet. Um, I've also, and I did mention it, like this part of the exploration is, well, what have I actually enjoyed and what have I thought I've enjoyed because of conditioning, because I thought I should enjoy it because it was easy for me. So therefore I must have enjoyed it. Um, Also being good at something doesn't make it a pleasurable experience. And just because I can doesn't mean I should. Um, or need to, and being useful doesn't equal pleasure. So, being my energy type, being sacral generator, and also just having this awareness in life, I also shared about this on social media. Um, I had an awareness about, well, being useful made me feel loved. Being useful made me feel like that I belonged and that I fit in and that I was worthy because I was useful. And so I attributed my self-worth to being useful to other people, um, and not actually feeling worthy within myself, but just being able to be useful to other people will make me lovable, will make me belong. Um, and also just, yeah, just that question of, well, what does pleasure feel like? What is the felt sense of pleasure? So, as I said, my intention is to explore pleasure, create a new felt sense and relationship with pleasure, allowing myself to experience pleasure and to hold pleasure in my body and my energy systems. And I was feeling really, as you do on your period, feeling really heavy. Um, Feeling really heavy in my body, feeling really swollen in my womb, feeling very heavy and very dark and very cold, short breaths, not fully exhaling. Some tingling in the tops of my feet and some lightness in my heart. My feet felt glued to the floor. There was coldness in my calves and stillness in my hands and my arms. I was yawning and tingling in the top of my head and my third eye. And it almost kind of felt like something was just being sprinkled down onto the top of my head um, from above. And a feeling like a slowing down in my body and in my nervous system. I was really starting to unwind and really starting to relax. Okay, so as soon as we laid down um, to breathe, I noticed there was a lot happening outside the room here. And I was really curious about what was happening outside the room. I was really curious about the noise. I was really curious about what are they doing? Why are they doing that? At one point, they were outside and it's the middle of winter, freezing cold, pitch black. I'm like, what could they possibly be doing outside? That's ridiculous. And, I was just like, um, just so involved in what they were doing. Um, And I kind of like, it kind of annoyed me and kind of triggered me, but also it didn't. There was a little moment there where they're bickering between each other kind of made me feel like I was a kid again. It made me feel like um, my brothers arguing. And I felt like in that moment I had to be as still as possible. I felt like not that I couldn't move, but I just had to be still and I couldn't make any noise. And I was doing that because I didn't want anyone to know that I was there. I didn't want to be noticed. I didn't want to be seen. I wanted to be invisible. And yeah, I just wanted to hide. And I had the blanket pulled up over my head. And then I kind of shifted back into the distraction of the noises happening around and back into that curiosity of what was happening outside of the room. I actually remember thinking, oh, they were cooking something, and I was like, oh, are they making brownies? I hope they're making brownies. I really loved, I want to eat a brownie. Like, I would love a brownie right now. Um, I I wanted to get up and see what they were doing. In my head, I was really distracted. I was like, "Oh, what's happening with the fire? Is anyone looking after the fire? I better get up and check if the fire's still going, if the fire needs some wood." And yeah, I caught myself in this awareness of um I'm I'm distracted. I'm very, very distracted. Um and I kept trying to pull myself back into the breathe, but I realized I was distracting myself from myself. That's what was happening here. I didn't want to go inward. I just, yeah, I was just not ready for that. I didn't want to be there. Um, and so I just, I obviously let go of the idea that I had to go inwards into myself. And I just lay there feeling distracted, um, hiding and not wanting to be noticed. And I just let that be for what it was. Um, Not willing to see myself, not willing to be honest with myself. And then I was kind of like, well, All right, well, let's come back into this breathe. What, questioning myself about, well, what does pleasure feel like? What is pleasure? What does pleasure feel like in my body? And I kind of imagined myself on a beach, feet in the sand, feeling the warmth of the sun hitting my body, hitting my face, and that feeling so warm and energizing and expansive. And yeah, just enjoying that moment. And so then I was like, all right, well, what else? And I came back to this feeling of when I was younger, my our pet cat used to come and hang out in my window. We used to get the afternoon sun, and he used to sleep inside the curtain. And I would come and lay down with him, and we would snuggle. And again, the sun beaming down, just feeling so energized and expanded in that energy. And so, yeah, those two examples of what pleasure feels like for me in my body. Um, and so I again, I acknowledged that I was releasing patterns. I was releasing patterns of distraction, of not wanting to um, be with myself, of not wanting to go in, not being ready, not being willing to really go in with myself, feeling um, that feeling of fear, feeling of being seen, feeling of being visible, feeling that finding my pleasure and becoming a vibrant, magnetic person will make me visible. People will see me and I won't be able to hide from that. Um, Yeah, so just releasing these patterns of feeling like I need to hide, releasing these patterns of, I need to be invisible and to feel safe. Um, and being able to explore this, what's happening inside me and being able to explore what pleasure actually is for me. Um, and I'm definitely feeling like when this breathe finished, as much as that particular session was finished, this is a topic that will um, continue on for me. This is definitely a topic that needs more exploration. It needs more unraveling. It needs more feeling into what pleasure actually feels like. And so that was my most recent number 19 breathwork session. Um, and, my experience so far with breathwork. And um, there is definitely more to this story that I will share with you in the next session. Um, but again, I'm coming back to like so much is happening. So much is being unraveled. So much of this fear is being released. And so much new expansion and excitement is happening here. And I shared with someone on my socials. She shared something about, letting go and becoming who you are. And I shared with her something that my understanding of what I'd learned in the shadow work container. And, using the example of, say, confidence. Excuse me. So the confidence is always there. The confidence is always there. You don't need to grow or expand your confidence. What you need to do is release and let go of what is in the way of you embodying that confidence. And so, what is in the way of confidence? Self-doubt is in the way of confidence. Fear is in the way of confidence. Um, Feeling like an imposter might be in the way of confidence. Not feeling like you belong might be in the way of confidence. And so you don't have to grow your capacity to be confident. What you need to do is let go of the things that are holding you back, the things that are weighing you down, and taking those weights away. And then the confidence will just bounce to the surface. And so this breath work, this nervous system work is unwinding these patterns, unreleasing these patterns to allow the authentic version of you to beam, to allow that authentic version of you to have your experience in life. We come into this world feeling worthy. And it's the things that we learn along the way, the things that we're told we are, the things we make ourselves, mean something about ourselves. It's letting go of all of these pieces. And this is where breath work is so effortless in this unraveling. So I really hope you have enjoyed these 19 sessions up until now. Oh, I can't wait to get myself nice and warm and cozy. I've got the heater down here next to me, keeping me warm, and my slippers on. But I can't wait to get out by the fire. So thank you for following me thus far through this journey. And I can't wait to keep sharing my experiences with you, and showing you what is your potential as well. Like I said, I'm not special. Everyone has this ability, and you just need to take the steps to get there. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and I cannot wait to continue this journey with you and share my breathwork experience. So, thanks for watching, and next time I'll have some different clothes on. See you next time.